Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Touliatos, brought to you by his books. Bodybuilding, the good, the bad, and the ugly, gives you an excellent overview of all the PEDs used in our sport, doses, side effects, cycles. Then the follow-up to that, written in quarantine, training, nutrition, supplementation in bodybuilding, put all that together and build the best physique possible. And if you're on Amazon.com buying his books, buy my book, Real Bodybuilding. What a great book. And now all the way from Athens, Greece, freshly back from his vacation, much needed and deserved, Dr. George Touliatos. Hey, doctor.
Hi, Ron. I work on my tan.
Yeah, you look very, very tan, I got to say. So,
and, I think I look a little bit leaner.
Yeah, you dieted all the way through your vacation?
Yes, I dieted all the way through my vacation.
Wow, geez. Did
but
you bring...
I still using GH, though, for 10 days.
Shakes?
GH.
Oh, GH. Oh, you stopped GH for 10 days, but did you bring your own food with you, or you were you just able to get clean food everywhere you were at your...
Yeah, I could this vacation for 10 days. It cost me 2.5 grand, you know?
Ooh.
A lot of money. I mean, for 10 days, it was luxury, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I needed that time for myself.
Yeah.
Working hard all year round. But there was some sad news about John Meadows, you know.
Yeah, that happened. It happened the night, we were in Tampa for that show, and it happened Saturday night. So Sunday, we got the news late Sunday morning. I started getting messages from people asking me, is it true what happened to John Meadows? I'm like, oh no. I was really hoping it was a rumor. It was not true, because he's one of those guys you can't imagine John Meadows not being around. He's such a vital part of this industry.
#1 YouTube channel, 500,000 subscribers. You know, he just recorded a video last week.
Yeah.
He was 1 year older than me, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
and I guess he had the clotting issues because last year he had a thrombus and acute myocardial infarction, and now this year the official statement was pulmonary embolism, which is again has to do with clotting and thrombosis.
Yeah, and I mean, 2005, he had his colon removed. He's been fighting.
Yeah, but I think this is not related to the.
No, but I'm saying he
cardiovascular issues. But yes, he was struggling because colon is half of the digestion. In the excretion of the food. Anyway.
Yeah.
He led a great legacy. He has two boys.
Yeah,
two
twins.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but yeah, he's definitely going to be missed. It's been over a week and I still can't believe he's gone.
And we lost also a couple of ladies from the pros, huh?
I saw we lost one lady over at the Europa show, I think the night before she was going to compete. Yeah, was in Spain in the Europa Pro in Spain.
And another guy in India, I think so, it was of COVID.
Oh, from COVID, geez.
Complications of COVID,
yeah. We also just had the last two contests to qualify for the Mr. Olympia happened over the weekend. We had the Texas Pro Saturday, and then the next day in Alicante, Spain, the Europa Pro. So Iain Valliere beat Steve Kuclo. So Iain
Valliere was already qualified from Tampa.
He was. So
can Kuclo get the second place as qualification?
You know what? He's got two chances. He could either win the Arnold Classic, or Dan Solomon could say, hey, Steve, you want to come to the Olympia? Because last year they invited Big Ramy. He was an invitation. He wasn't qualified for the Olympia.
Well, Steve, I guess he's the best white American bodybuilder.
Yeah, he is.
He's almost 300 pounds.
6'1",
he was
285.
Top 4 at the Arnold, top 6 at the previous Olympia. He had a magnificent 6 months apart from late 19 to early 20.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the Olympia, and I'm a fan of Steve. I have met him in my book.
Yeah.
And in Spain was this British guy.
Nathan Deasha came back after, I think it's almost 2 years since it's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
He had some troubles with the law.
He did, and he's a gym owner, and he had.
I know, in London.
He had further trouble in Liverpool, so he had clashes with the police over his gym opening and arresting members.
Somebody from London, gym owner from London, was a friend of mine, a patient of mine, told me that he didn't obey to the rules during COVID. He opened secretly his gym, you know.
Right.
He was making money while the others were struggling, you know,
Yeah.
following the rules.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to look at it. I mean, you know, some people would say we're like we can keep our gyms open if we want to, but if the state or the government says no, you can't, unfortunately you are in violation of the law. Whether you agree with the law or not, the police can come and arrest you. They can do whatever. That's their job, is to enforce the laws, unfortunately.
So Steve was really huge to me. He was 290 because Milos wrote that down in his Instagram.
Yeah.
Valer was also really full, round, deep striated, but Kuclo seemed to me more fresh, you know, because Valer had already did a show, you know, so carving him up and depletion. This perhaps will make him tired fatigue. I don't know, but to me, it was a hot favorite because it was in his town, you know, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there in person. I was just watching the pay-per-view. But to me, I believe that Iain won that show in the confirmation round because Steve looked the same, big,
yeah, almost
great
identical,
shape.
you know.
And Iain got a little sharper from what I could see. I think Iain edged him out.
By the way,
Iain
was in the last Olympia, Steve was not in Orlando.
Right. Well, let's see. Well, last year, Steve was 6th in the Olympia and Iain was 7th. So
Iain's from France.
No, he's Canada. Canada. Yeah. He's Chris Bumstead's brother-in-law.
Really?
He's married to Chris Bumstead's sister, Melissa.
Okay.
She's a figure pro, and she was backstage.
Well,
she's
this
jacked.
guy this classic physique handsome competitor, how you call him?
The guy that won in Logan. I thought Logan was going to win.
They tell me in Greece that I look like Logan, but I don't think so. How's the joke?
He looks like you, or he looks like who?
Yeah, they tell me that I look like Logan.
Oh, that's not a bad guy to look like. He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, and I told Milos that he reminds me of yourself in your early years as a pro.
Yeah.
In the very early 90s.
Yeah.
When he earned the car from Yugoslavia. Yeah, he has this look of Arnold, you know, the classic lines and the good posing.
Yeah, in
But I
fact,
think it would be hard for Logan and Bumstead to move to the open class. They have to add a lot of muscle.
I don't think they want to. They don't want to. No, Bumstead doesn't want to go to open. He said and never.
That's a good idea. Stay there, and it's more beautiful.
Yeah, well, he's, you know, Chris has his kidney condition, Berger's disease.
Still?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to get cured of that. So he's got to be very conservative with gear and protein, and he can't go
I thought this
crazy.
was temporary in 2018, you know?
No, he knows how to manage it now with his diet and everything else, but I don't think he's ever going to get rid of that. So Logan was the favorite to win that show. I thought he was going to win.
So you believe we're going to have a heat between Logan and Bumstead?
Logan's not qualified for the Olympia.
Oh, no?
No, he got second to Robert Timms, a guy he's been gone for 3 years. I forgot about this guy, but he's very good. He came back 20 pounds bigger.
But perhaps he's invited the Arnold. I think so.
I think he's in the Arnold, but that's, even if you win, the only person from the Arnold that gets to go to the Olympia is the winner of the men's open. Nobody else.
Really?
So Logan does not go to the Olympia this year. But one cool thing I saw was they brought him back. So Classic Physique was done on Friday with a couple other pro divisions, and Saturday during the finals for the open bodybuilding and everything in 212, they brought Logan out like as a guest poser because his routine was so good from the day before. And he hits a lot of the old Arnold, old school type of poses. Yeah, I'm a big Logan fan. I like Logan. He's a good kid. But Robert Timms, no joke. I think
you had an interview with him, man.
Yeah, I've interviewed him many times, but I think this Robert guy will be top 5 at the Olympia in Classic. Really. Maybe top 3. I don't know. Top 4. He's good. Very good. But we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so vacation's over. Back to work.
Was it hot in Texas?
What's that?
Was it hot in Texas?
I don't know. I didn't go. It's always hot in Texas.
Oh, you didn't go, huh?
No. We had Hector was there. Milos was there. We did something on YouTube.
How come you're not there? How come you're not there?
Oh, I got this magazine I gotta finish writing, man. I write a lot. I
So
do a lot of the
you go everywhere, Tampa,
I don't like working out. I don't like writing out of town. I like being right here in my little office and have my little setup. It's hard for me to write, but I'm
The
almost
next
done.
station is the Columbus, eh?
Arnold Classic. Yeah. And we got to wear a mask. A lot of
Really?
people. Yeah, a lot of people are mad at Arnold. Did you see what
Even
Arnold?
vaccinated one?
Yeah. Everyone's gonna have to wear a mask. I think they're having did they say they're having an expo? I think they're gonna have an expo.
Not expo, just a day.
No expo? Okay.
The next one.
Yeah. But Arnold was on CNN. He did an interview a few days ago. And he said, if you're a schmuck, if you don't wear a mask, and he compared it to, that's why we have traffic laws, so cars don't crash into each other.
Yeah, sure. He was referring to the vaccine mainly.
Yeah. But, the
To the mask
anti-vaxxers.
for the non-vaccinated.
Yeah. So people are mad at him. The anti-vaxxers and the anti-maskers are all mad at him.
They are my minority. Come on.
Well, because they took one quote of his and they put it on a meme because he said, screw your freedom. And then, people took that and ran with it.
When you are a part of the community, you have obligations. Come on.
Yeah.
And your freedom has to stop where it starts. You don't have to harm the other one. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's,
Otherwise, live in a jungle. Come on.
I'm paraphrasing, but Mr. Spock from Star Trek, in one of the movies before he sacrificed himself and died, in one of those old movies from 20, 30 years ago with William Shatner, he said the greater good is more important than the good of the individual. It was something along that lines.
It's the same with the smokers and the smokers. The anti-smokers, they have to respect the freedom of the non-smokers. Okay,
Right.
You do not harm them. So be in a cage and smoke as much as you like, but don't spread it.
Yeah, we're gonna get some comments. Before we start questions, I did want I had a request from a guy I did a online report with years ago. He wanted me to wish him good luck. His name is Scott Barron. On August 24th, he's going for open heart surgery to replace his aortic valve, which was diagnosed 11 years ago, and he's finally having the surgery. So good luck, Scott. Full recovery. Wish you a very successful procedure and full recovery and back to good health. So, okay, we don't have a lot of questions, but we have good questions this time, Doctor. The first question, I think this is going to be the one everyone's going to want to hear about because everyone wants to know best way to bulk up fast. Can you lay down
Fast.
a full, well, let's talk about a full 12-week bulking
Arnold
session.
used to say, if it's fast, it's not healthy.
True.
It's not the right way to approach. Rome, Samir taught me Rome was not built in one day, in one night, I'm sorry. So now fast refers perhaps to the fast acting esters. But
I'm sorry, he didn't say fast. I'm putting words in his mouth. The gentleman, all he wanted to know was, can you lay down for me a full 12
Yeah, we said that many times. We had a special episode number 27 before the
you remember
19 Olympia. We spoke about the bulking and the cutting.
Yeah.
It's also in the text of Muscular Development Magazine, online also. It's also in my book. So we have 3 semesters of 3 months of, 4 weeks, 3 times of 4 weeks. So 3 semesters and 3 months. So first month, week 1 to 4. First of all, I'm going to change the esters of the testosterone each month, but also I'm going to change the compounds that are responsible for bulking and strength. So I put the cysteine, which is a blend of testosterone that has the ability to act fast and slow also. So it gets rapid into the system to get some kick, but also it remains there perhaps longer than the cypionate or the enanthate because it has a little bit of andecanate. So cysteine, along with some non-dual decanate, which is a slow ester of deca. Okay, it's a class MPP. I don't like shooting frequently, and when you shoot frequently, you have to know it clears your system. So it's not good there for a drug to clear your system if you want to bulk. It has to remain there, and perhaps produce a little bit some estrogens because estrogens also favor anabolism in a way. Now the doses, of course, are something. How you say the word?
Individualized.
Subjective, yeah. So some people would say, 1 gram of test is a classic and should be a must, okay, along with 600 of deca, all right. And I would add some methandrosterol or methandinone, meaning the dianabol. According to the half-life, we split it 3 times a day, every 8 hours. So 8, 4, and 12 at midnight, and take it sublingually 10 or 20 milligrams. So either 30 or 60 milligrams of dianabol a day. Now we could add a little bit of proviron for some free testosterone, you know, and perhaps some slight androgenic activity, AM and PM every 12 hours, 35 milligrams. Now to the rest of the anabolic hormones, I would say 4 AM and 4 PM for units of growth hormone, AM and 4 PM, all right, every 12 hours. Let's say 9 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock at night.
So 4 and 4, so 8 total?
Yes, 8 total.
Okay.
And some G8s, let's say this guy is 100 kilograms to 20. I would suggest 10 units of insulin first with breakfast and then post-workout. Okay. So 20 units of insulin, split it into 2 doses, 10 and 10. Now, if you want to replace insulin with IGF-1, I would say do 1 dose of IGF-1 post-workout, perhaps 50 micrograms. Okay, it has hypoglycemic effect. And some androgenic agents, so I would say anastrozole 3 times a week at least in order to avoid the gyne, you know. And if you notice something that irritates your breast tissue, you can use some tamoxifen. Now this is the first month, week 1 to 4. We move to 5 to 8 then, the second month. So I switched the sustanon with some testosterone cypionate along with some Ecupos or boldenone. So we keep the same dose, and just the boldenone replaces the Deca with the same dosage, 600, okay? And we switch the dianabol with oxymetholone or anadrol.
Oh, okay.
Now, this also has a half-life of 8 hours, but it's very risky to say use 3 times a day. Oxymetholone 150, that's a lot of, even though a lot of try, even amateurs, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't want to speak open about this, use 150 of anadrol. Perhaps you can cut half of the pill and use 25 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
minimum
minimum dose is 50. Yeah, 75 with a 150.
That's plenty.
But for a brief period of time, 30 days dianabol, 30 days anadrol. Okay, strictly sublingually always.
Gotcha.
Don't drink, don't take painkillers, and use the liver detox supplements.
Yeah.
And don't drink alcohol, I mean. And now, for the semester number 3, from 9 to 12, the rest of the anabolic hormones remain the same, right? So the gear changes to testosterone enophthate along with trembolone enophthate. And why I'm using trembolone? Because it's anabolic and gives also strength that you need it. Perhaps it has some lean gains, not the bulking effect out of estrogens, but yet we need this strength and this anabolism. All right, so we keep trembolone for the last part, along with another very strong androgen from oral, which is halotestin. Small doses, 3 times a day, 10 milligrams. That gives you super strength for basic exercises, okay? And this is also sublingually. So I guess this is the most anabolic cycle because it has 3 different types of testosterone, 3 different compounds of anabolics, and also 3 different pills. Okay, 2 classic anabolic, one, a very androgenic one that gives you extra strength, along with insulin or IGF-1 and growth hormone. This is super classic.
Yeah.
If you don't grow on this, then change.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about MGF or follistatin, how to apply this, but this is super extra and super special, you know. And I doubt if somebody has legitimate sources, if it's not an Olympia competitor, you know.
Yeah, I've certainly have never seen follistatin. And what was the other one you said?
MGF, mechanism growth factor, it resembles the IGF-1. It's a type of very similar to IGF-1, has hypoglycemic effect. It's very capable of repairing tissues post-workout.
Wow.
And actually, people with trauma injuries to the flesh of the muscles and lack of symmetry, they can inject locally, post-workout to the muscle group they train.
Holy crap.
Yes, MGF, yes.
MGF. It must be incredibly expensive if you can get it, I'm guessing.
Well, very rare to find, of course, underground, but I heard many, quite some competitors are using it, but I don't know if it's the legitimate source. But it resembles the IGF-1.
Also localized growth, like you put it in your arms will grow.
Post-workout to the trained muscle group. Yes.
Oh boy.
The same goes for IGF-1.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that almost sounds too good to be true. Geez, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get any for myself, but that sounds intriguing. Okay. I think he asked me this question, but I want to ask you it first. This is Nikos Rosos. Sounds like a good Greek name. He says, Ron, do you think about a comeback after Phil Clahar taking second place at 47 and Derik Farnsworth looking as good as he did at age 51 in Tampa in a 212? But I'm going to put it to you, Doc, because you're a little younger. You just turned 48. Yeah, so you look like you're getting possible. You could make a comeback.
I know I met Yanis Mangos at the Rose, the famous bodybuilder who slapped the judge.
Who is he? Oh, he's the guy that slapped the judge in that video.
Yeah. And he told me he was very close to take the card on that night.
Yeah.
Actually, Pistolas won the card that night. Anyway, he told me, George, if you do a comeback, I believe you can come even better than your masters.
Yeah.
Because now I'm 215 officially. I'm 97.5, 97. Yeah. And I have the six-pack I used to have when I was 210. And I'm using nothing as a gear, just 250 testosterone, 50 of Deca, which is nothing, of course, and 3 I use of G8s. But back then I was using 5 different steroids, and in high doses, of course. I was going 1.5, even 2 grams of testosterone for a brief period of time, Deca, Primo, Masteron, Tembolone, everything, all together, combination. Yeah. But I guess now, all these years added, accumulated, along with TRT, along with GH since 2017, the free weights during the quarantine, the consistency. Age is not a matter if it's like Dexter, if you never stop and if you're consistent. Now, if you start lifting in your 40s, and this is the next question, you have an issue. You don't have the maturity, and nobody can avoid the injuries and the fragile musculoskeletal system, So either you train or not, you're more fragile in your 40s and in your 50s rather than in your 30s or 20s. The connective tissue breaks down, calcification. The tendons become more stiff, Right. The bone tissue, osteopenia, anything, everything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we like to say age is just a number. I think we all look.
It is.
We all look great for our age, but a 50-year-old body is not a 20-year-old body.
Oh, come on. Can we compare the Dexter of when he won the Olympia it was 2008, he was 38, with now that he retired.
No.
Of course, he's exceptional, but it's not the same quality of the skin,
Right.
Or the flesh, the flesh of the muscle, it's not so round or full. Yeah. I noticed myself, even before the injury, I was trying to imitate Michael Herner. All I got was a broken disc.
Yeah, don't try to imitate Michael Hearn, guys. He's like a human fool. He's super strong.
Yeah, my legs are not as strong as they used to be. I used to be strong as a horse. So anyway, nobody can beat Father Time, but you can beat decent if you're consistent. And when I mean consistent, don't miss meals. Don't skip training even 1 week in a whole year, at least do something else, jogging, swimming. Don't let your body, don't eat junk during the period you don't train. So when it's consistent, it's more easy for you to retain this. People don't believe I'm 48, but I worked hard my ass for that,
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't just woke up one day and look like this,
Yeah. I mean, you're training, you put your training out there almost every day.
So perhaps
on Instagram.
for Michael Hearn also, it's an easy job to do this because it's the consistency. Also to you, you know, you look phenomenal, 51 with a six-pack.
52 next month.
100 kilograms. But this is easy job for you for decades.
Right. Yeah. So if you come back, what show would you do? Would you
Oh, come on, the Nationals. No.
The Nationals?
Now, I don't know if I can. It's bearable for me to go down 190, come 87 kilograms. I have to look like a Jesus, you know. I will.
Jesus. No, I don't think you would have to get to 190.
190, man, it's a lot.
That's too light. I mean, that's
when I depleted, I was 188.
Yeah, because
I was 80. Actually, no more. I was 191. I never depleted below 88 kilograms, 2010 and 2013. It was the least I could do, you know, so I cannot reach easily unless I take also diuretics, and the risk is risky. You know, you feel like shit.
But I mean, we just talked about, you put on about 10 pounds of muscle since you retired from competition, right?
But I guess I'm gonna look more ripped at the same body weight of 200 pounds.
Or maybe higher. You might be like 205.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, it's not even about the weight. You would be bodybuilding. You're not going to go down to classic because that's too much weight to drop. But you could do masters. Do they give a pro card for masters?
I don't care, man.
You don't care?
Even if you do, it's just for prestige, you know.
I know, but I want one just so I can change my Instagram to IFBB Pro Ron Harris Muscle. Yeah.
Well, John Meadows did that actually. He earned his card 2005, his 40s.
220. I want to say it was 2014. Team Universe, because
15 at the Arnold Classic.
Well, he competed at the Arnold Classic in 2015. I'm saying John turned pro as a Masters. I think it was a 2014 or 2015 Team Universe. It was one of those.
Yeah, his quality was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was. I don't think I went the year he won. So okay, he must have done 2015 because I didn't go to 2015. I went to 2014. And I remember Derik, a local guy from Massachusetts, won all the Masters that year, Derik Upshaw. So it must have been 2015. Yeah. So the guy was asking me about a comeback. Yeah, I think about a comeback. Of course, I think about it. I know I need bigger arms. I know I'm not going to win. I'm not going to beat any genetic freaks.
Ron, you don't win a show just by arms.
You don't, but you
not
win.
Enough.
It's not, but you need a balanced physique. Everything should be in proportion.
Okay, some people don't have calves, some people don't have forearms, some people don't have arms.
But when your legs are like this, you need arms that kind of
legs and back, shoulders, pecs. When you have this pack, it's okay. As long as arms are ripped, you know.
Yeah, but I still want to get them. I don't want to get back up on stage unless they're at least a little bit better. I'm going to work very hard on them this fall, this winter, early spring, and see what I can do.
Also, you need to have some time, you know.
Right. And you know what, I just started using growth hormone, four IUs a day back in middle February. And I always felt like maybe I've gotten everything I can get out of anabolics, regular steroids. If I add those back, if I added growth hormone, and maybe I could get a little bit more muscle mass. And I think I have, but I've also been eating very clean and very low carb for these past few months to get very lean. So if I let myself get a little heavier, just a little bit, I'm not going to get fat again, but I just want to see what I can do. If I can get my arms up and I feel like I can look at least as good as I did before, you know, you could look better. You know, you're going to look better if you get on stage again than you did before. I don't know if I could.
The only thing that concerns me, Ron, is the doses. I have to step in gear again, and this is what frightens me.
I know. Yeah, you can't use baby doses and get on stage. It's just not. You're gonna get beat.
Otherwise, diet so hard that you're gonna look freaky ripped, and then add a little bit of gear, you know. But you're gonna lose some muscle.
Yeah, I can't afford to lose muscle because I'm not a big guy. I'm not. I've the last couple shows I did, I was a heavyweight and I was only 205 at the first show, 201, and I'm up there with guys that are 225 pounds.
But listen,
my height are even shorter than me.
There's no reason for a comeback if you don't come better. Forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. If I can't look at least as good as I did before, but better was the goal. Better,
take the chance to come back. but you have to know that you're older now. More mature, but you're over 50. That means more fragile structure, you know.
Oh yeah, I can't. You don't even know what I squat these days. If I squat,
of course, you have to use just machines and cables, you know.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get to our last question. It's kind of a long one. This guy sounds like he might be Greek too. Gus Poulos. Okay, he says, "Hello guys. I'm a huge fan of your show. I have a very important question. I am 50 years old. This must be like the Masters special this week. And I've just gotten into bodybuilding 4 years ago. So he didn't start bodybuilding until age 46. I have been blasting and cruising the whole time. I put on 55 pounds of muscle. Wow. I'm 210 pounds at 5'8" and 10% body fat. I train with the same intensity as my favorite bodybuilder, which is Branch Warren. Everyone tells me I should just train to be healthy at my age and not train to gain size. Is it possible that I can get away with taking gear at my age because I just started 4 years ago and I've not been abusing my body for say 20 or 30 years? Like this guy right here. Can I theoretically have my turn at bodybuilding at 50 years old and be successful at it? Or am I just spinning my wheels? I've reached my potential because of my age.
So this guy is 210 and he had 55 pounds. So he was 150, 155. He was so skinny. This is number one, something negative. He was ectomorph. And he started old. We have to admit it.
Yeah.
And for the same reason, number one, you don't have the maturity and the quality of these years because you started late. You lost 20 years perhaps. And number two, no matter if you train or not, your tendons, your joints are going to be more fragile than if you started in 25, let's say.
Yeah.
Now, we don't speak about I started lifting at 20, but I took gear at 45. This is different. Because you have already something ready, okay?
A base.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And number two, yes, I agree what they say, what they tell him, that stay out of trouble. You have to work on your heart. It's the most important muscle. Don't add a lot of weight in this age because the critical point now, you're the 50s. And I wouldn't suggest him to compete because at the supermaster, these guys are training for 20 or 30 years.
Oh, more. Yeah.
They look phenomenal in maturity and detail. But as they lost the muscle and the tone of the skin is not so firm,
Right.
my man, they're lifting half of their age, you know?
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys, they're like, I see some guys, especially over in Europe, a lot of the older guys in their 50s and 60s look incredible.
Well, 60s frightens me. It's a grandmaster, you know, but the supermaster, Francis Ben Fato from France.
Oh, yeah.
Labrada also.
Yeah.
Lee Labrada.
Yep. He looks
good. Gary Stridham, come on.
Yeah. But you know what I would say to you, sir, Gus, 5'8", 210 and 5'8" and 10% body fat, that can look different on a lot. That can look very different on one man versus another man. So he's 5'8" and 210, but I mean, you don't know what that looks like.
It sounds packed. It sounds packed. We don't know the symmetry, the proportions, the analogy, you know, everything.
Yeah. It's like, put it this way. Phil Heath was 5'9", about 250 when he won most of his Olympias. Say 240, 250.
Heaviest was 250.
Right. So I've seen a lot of guys over the years at amateur shows who were 5'9", 240 to 250 in shape. They didn't look anything like Phil Heath. So just because you're the same height and weight, that doesn't really tell you anything.
Guys with Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter, 5'6", 230.
Yeah, Mike K from Greece was the same, but of course the structure was flawless in Dexter.
Right. Yeah, Kefalianos was, and he was ripped. He had incredible muscle.
Yeah, he was 5'7" or 5'6".
Yeah.
And let's say 230, 235. But of course, the lats of Dexter were starting from his midsection. You know, the depth of the belt, the cuts here, in the quads, you could insert a coin. You know, right. So deep the separation.
Yeah. So Gus, I don't know if you have any potential for bodybuilding because I don't know what you look like.
Just be a better version of yourself. This is the main drive. But don't think about, you know, competing because the other guys are much more advanced. And if you step on gear, it's not a good idea. It's not healthy. You know?
Well, he's been blasting and cruising anyway, so it's not like we're telling him he would have to start using a bunch. But, you know, if he wants to try a competition, I wouldn't say, no, don't even think about it. you could do a master show just to see how you do, because that will give you, that'll give you an idea of how you compare to other people your age. And these guys have probably been doing it for 20, 30 years or more. So you'll know where you fit in, whether you belong up there or you don't belong.
Competitions are addictive. You start, you're getting hungry.
That's true.
And you're digging your hole,
How many years did you compete, Doctor?
From 2000 to 2013.
13 years.
10 times in 13 years.
Yeah, I did 30.
Four seasons.
I did 30 contests in 24 years.
Shit, man.
Milos did 10,000 contests. Milos did a lot of
yeah, I think 100.
I think if you add, I think he told me between the amateur and the pro, it was like 120. He did a lot because he started when he was like 17, and I think he retired around 40, close to it. So yeah.
You believe Ronnie was not as an NPC competitor?
I do. Yeah. Because I've been to so many gyms over the years, and I've seen these genetics. They're rare, but every once in a while.
Oh, he got his pro card, Natty?
I think he did. I do. Yeah. He was only, so Ronnie's 5 foot, or he was 5'11".
What about this hardness of the physique?
But I've been to I've been to natural shows where I've seen guys, they weren't very big, but they were just granite hard condition. I don't think it's impossible, because O'Connor just did a video about Mike O'Hearn, saying, is Mike O'Hearn lying?
But we spoke with Mike, and I told you look like taking HRT. That was a compliment for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know for sure.
Frankly, I believe that he's using once in a while some things, but he has contracts, obviously. He's not allowed to do this because he's going to lose his incomes.
Right, yeah. So, I don't know.
We don't care about this. The point is, many people are abusing and look like shit. So, this guy is a class on his own. Come on.
Yeah.
He's the alpha male, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Respect.
I mean, we both know people who have used grams and grams of gear, and they look like garbage. They just didn't have the genetics. If you don't have good genetics, you're never going to look that good. It's sad, but that's the truth.
They come boys in my office. I'm ashamed to say that they're taking gear to look worse than people who are not,
Yeah.
But when I ask what you eat, they're skipping meals. They don't eat enough calories. They do fasting. They don't know how to train consistently. They watch on the cell phone. This is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I mean, that's relying on the gear. That's thinking the gear is going to do the work for you. It doesn't.
You have to use gear when you don't have the genetics for a show.
Right.
This is the only way, because you bash your ass in training. You do the most of dieting, but somebody who's more genetic from you, in order to catch him, you have to step on gear,
Yeah.
And perhaps Lee Haney used way less than Andreas Munjo because of the supreme genetics.
I don't think Lee Haney used much at all. I really don't.
Yeah, Gaspar used to say that he was not gifted related to Haney, and Haney would just do a little pump, he blew up, and Gaspar had to work hard in his ass, in order to get these gains.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Richie, because Lee Haney was a genetic freak. 6 foot tall, almost 6 foot tall, shoulders like this.
The classic mesomorph. The classic mesomorph.
Exactly. Yeah. You look up.
Gain muscle and lose fat at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah. Lee was never more than 10 pounds over contest condition.
Now, the heaviest Lee that ever existed, you had a picture with him. He was off season of 91, the heaviest and the biggest, He should be 260 over there, right?
He was about 260, yeah, and he competed. He won his last Olympia.
Competed 250, yeah.
250. So he never got.
I believe this Haney was so decent that he could step on stage now and be perhaps top 10.
Oh yeah, he would be top.
The looks.
He would be top 10. He would need a little more, probably a little more arms, a little bit more legs to compare with the guys now.
If you use the GH and the insulin, in moderate doses, oh come on.
Oh yeah, I laugh when some people say, well, Lee Haney wouldn't even be able to turn pro now. I'm like, stop smoking that crack. Lee Haney wouldn't be a pro right now. Come on. That's ridiculous. And that comes from guys who are like, they're placing top 5 at the Nationals in USA. And they can't.
In terms of genetics, it's Sergio Oliva, Arnold, and Lee Haney. Dorian is hard work.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Coleman also, but hard work as well. But these were flawless structures,
Yeah.
And of course, Arnold had this charisma in the posing, in the mind thing. He was ahead of his time.
I mean, he put us on the map. If I don't think we would be talking, we wouldn't even have this industry the way it is now. Obviously, like people like Joe Weider were very important, but I mean, Arnold was very important in his own way, for sure. He's the one who made it popular. He made people want to be bodybuilders. You know, before that, it was like they thought it was for gay people. They thought it was narcissists. It was very much looked down upon.
Yeah, underground stuff from cavemen, you know.
Yeah, but you know, now it's mainstream almost, as close as it's ever going to be to mainstream. It's never going to be mainstream, but yeah.
Well, at least it's more popular in the States rather than you.
Yeah, that's what I hear. But it's more popular in like in the Middle East now than the USA.
You know that the old generation of my father, if they look at me, they ask me, "Are you a wrestler or are you a Olympic lifter?" They don't know about bodybuilding. What is this?
Yeah.
They know about Olympic sports, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the bodybuilding just doesn't occur to them. They're not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Doctor, welcome back from vacation. I hope you're well rested, ready to tackle the rest of the year, 2021. We got 6 weeks to the Arnold, or a little less as we speak, a little less than 8 weeks to the Olympia. So it's going to be an exciting few weeks coming up as we build up to the two biggest shows of the year. And guys, your questions for the doctor, we appreciate them. Please leave them in the comments below.
I have to tell you that by the end of the year, I'm going to combine my two books in one, the Bible of Bodybuilding.
Oh my goodness, the Bible.
And I will also enclose my quiz, nutrition and gear that were not in the in the books that I have now. So yes, it's going to be two books. It's going to be around 400 pages.
Wow.
So people don't have to buy this one. They buy it in one. Yeah. So I want to come to the next Arnold with the Bible in some samples and give it to some VIP.
I was going to say, you need to get this ready fast so people can give it as Christmas presents for their friends and their loved ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Good news. All right. So guys, yes, leave your questions there. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when we have exciting new videos. There's plenty of video content on this channel. Check it out. And we thank you, Dr. George. You are a tremendous resource for the people around the world. One of the only champion bodybuilders who is also a medical doctor who can answer these types of questions about PEDs with authority and personal experience with yourself and your many, many patients over the years. So we thank you very much, sir. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Ask Dr. Testosterone with Dr. George Touliatos, and we'll see you next time.